Hey, this is your girl Michelle,
And this is Mariah.
and you are tuned in to Melanin Voices.
Hey y'all. We noticed, Mikkel was listening to our podcast and she was like, hey, we the viewers do not know how you Michelle met. We don't know anything about anything. So let us know exactly how you guys met because we're kind of unsure. So me and Michelle were like, okay, that makes sense. Everybody would want to know exactly why we started it too, but they also want to know exactly why we decided to reach out to each other. How do you know each other? I'm sure you guys are kind of wondering that. So we decided to go ahead and let you all know how we met. So Michelle and I actually knew each other since high school, right?
Yeah, we started off at Montbello High School, and you were a year younger than me.
Yes.
So that's probably why we knew each other, but weren't really mutual. I mean, we were kind. I don't know.
I know it was weird.
I grew up in Montbello. What about you, Mariah?
My younger years in elementary, I grew up in Park Hill, but then when I moved to Green Valley was when I actually decided to go to Montbello, and I went there for middle school too. So I grew up in Green Valley.
Yeah. I always seen you with Musu. Because I was in student council, and Musu was in student council too, and I just knew you were like Musu's friend Mariah.
Musu.
And it's crazy because I feel like from high school, I just think when you're young and you have your cliques, and I played sports, and that's all I did was focus on sports and hang out with my, athlete friends and stuff. I never bothered to get to know anyone outside of that. So. And I seen you and Musu hanging out, and it's crazy because you guys have grown so much. I feel like we all have grown so much because how Musu was in student council, she's always been a diva, but she turns her divaness all the way up. And I always seen you guys hang out, and I always thought you dressed so cute. I was like, Mariah dresses cute. That's what I remember.
Aww.
That's what I remember of you, dressing cute.
I just thought Michelle was like the pretty brown skinned girl with the nice hair. I was like, oh, she's so cute. And I was like, I'm so serious. My sister was like, the one that dates Ron, I'm like, long time ago. But yeah, right, high school for sure. So I was like, oh yeah, that's the girl. And so I was like, I don't really know her, but she seems cool. Like I knew Varisha's here and there, like speaking to her every now and again. And that was your best friend, so. Crazy how we knew each other as best friends, but we didn't know each other.
And then we went off to college, and I went to UNC, which is in Greeley, University of Northern Colorado, and Mariah went to CSU. Didn't you go to CSU? Mariah went to CSU.
I was like, wait, hold on.
I'm not sure. Were you there the whole time, or did you go there?
Yes, I was there the entire 4 years. Entire 4 years I was there. I just want to make sure
And CSU is about a 45-minute drive, and my best friend went to CSU, and I knew Mariah went there as well. So that's how I knew you went there. I seen you on campus. So
see, and then we decided. Everybody's like, "So how'd y'all get here?
How did this even happen?" And it's funny because out of all people, so. I Snapchatted one day a quote of a book, and Mariah wrote me and said, "Is that a good book?" And I think, what was the book called? It was called, what was it? Do you remember what the book was called? The poetry book?
I have no idea, Michelle.
Okay, it was some poetry book. Dang it, I'm sorry, I can't remember. But I put it out there, and Mariah asked me how it was, and for some reason, it just sparked in my head. And I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to do a podcast for so long. And something tells me that Mariah would be the perfect person to do this with me. Only because we're not bestest friends, and we both have great opinions and topics. So I was like, let me ask her. And you were down. So I was like, well, let's do this.
I was more than down. I was so down because I recently wanted to do a podcast, and it just didn't work out with who I was going to do the podcast with. So for whatever reason, we decided not to do it anymore. But when Michelle hit me up, I was all like, yes, like I've been wanting to do this forever. Let's do it. Like I wasn't hesitant at all. I was like, whatever you need from me, I'm ready. I'm good to go. Like, let's
Yeah.
do it.
It's
So
something told me
yeah,
you would be a
that's how it
genuine
happened.
person to do it because I seen that you started your own web page. You do YouTube videos, and I was like, she's really hustling to make a name for yourself. So I was like, you know what, this would be a perfect person to actually commit this podcast and take it seriously. So I'm happy I picked you because you have been consistent and you're a
Yay!
realist.
This is me and Michelle's little baby, you guys. We love this
Right.
podcast
It's our
already.
outlet for sure.
We spent so much time on this, so we hope you all
Right.
enjoy.
So there's our story on how we met. I know it's not the most interesting story, but at least hopefully it motivates you guys to reach out and speak to people who you've always seen as being ambitious, and maybe you guys can turn y'all's ambitions into dreams and y'all's dreams into reality, because that's what Mariah and I's goals are for this podcast. So never be afraid to reach out to people who you've always been mutual friends with, because you never know what you guys can do together. So at least hopefully you guys get that from this podcast with us. And let's talk about our days, of course, because that's how we originally start off our podcast. You know, we switched it up a little bit this time. Tell me about your day, Mariah. How was work?
Work was work. I actually found out that one of my favorite managers at my job is leaving, and I'm so devastated. I'm like, maybe this is God showing me something. Like I can't get too comfortable because at first I was comfortable, like okay, until this month, and when he leaves, I'm gonna leave. Like no, I need to leave because I want to
Right.
leave, and so I'm like, wow, I need to leave. I mean, he's leaving for a whole completely different reason. Like he loves the company. Like that's not why he's leaving. He's other stuff. But I'm just like, I need to leave for my own reasons. So I'm working on that, actually putting forth the effort to like clean up my resume, do some cover letters, and actually put stuff forward.
That's
So
good.
that's how my day was. I literally had my tab open with my work and my tab open with my resume. I was like, I'm getting out of here and
And
get the
that's what
fuck
you're
out of
supposed to do
here.
for real, because you can spend that time working
Yes.
and looking for a new job at the same time. Because that's the best time to look for a new job while you still have one. Always, always do that.
Exactly. That's the best time. Like, don't wait to leave. I mean, I'm not saying that you can't, leave your job and decide to pursue something else. I'm just saying, me personally, I've always wanted to have that like reassurance of having something in place. But some people aren't like that, and they can just go on the whim and just find one right away. I know myself personally, I can't. So that's why I'm the way
Yes,
I
I feel
am.
you. For
Stuck.
sure. And my day,
Yeah. How was your day?
yeah, it was. I, I guess I'll tell you guys about little Trend Chronicles. It's
I'm
always
about to ask.
something. Um,
We seen
you
your
seen it?
Snapchat.
The dude, he just spoke a
Yes.
word about Jesus. So I posted him on my snap, and I snapped my fingers when he was finished. And he was like, "Thank you, my sister." And I was like, "Just keep working, my brother. Keep doing your thing. Do what you need to do to get by." And it's funny because my friend who rides with me on the train sometimes, she was like, "We heard him before," and I was like, "No, I did not." And she's a native, so I was like, "You probably used to seeing the
Like,
same actors on the train because they do recycle themselves and they do come on there every single, every few months, every few weeks. You do see that same person on there spitting that same line, just trying to get their voice out there. So kudos to him. I hope his poetry thing goes smoothly. Another thing that I noticed actually on the train today is that the best part about New York City is that you cannot hide and you cannot filter anything on that train. Like everyone rides it. You see everyone's day on their face. You see everyone's struggles because you can literally sit next to a homeless person on the train. Right. Today, I'm pretty sure I sat next to someone very less fortunate because I can smell the outside, and I smelled the outside, the stress, and the worries on him, if that makes sense. Like, if you ever smelt a homeless person, you could just tell they haven't bathed, or it was just really hard. And I hate when that happens. I'm like, oh, snap, I got to sit with this person on the train. I got to smell him the whole way up there. And I think that's the crazy part about New York City is that no matter no matter what you do, you can't hide in your car and cry, right? You have to get on the train and cry home if something happened. If you're upset with something, or you're upset with someone, or you're depressed and anything like that, you see it then and there on the train, and everyone's just all up in each other's space, really. So I definitely noticed that today as I was on the train, just looking around and noticing all the different lives that were happening right then and there on that train. So there are my train chronicles for the day, and work was just regular. Nothing new. Just I'm finally getting to the point where I'm tired of waking up every morning. So that's not good. That's not good. That means that I'm getting
It's not.
complacent, and that hurts. But I'm gonna keep doing it until I change, until I make my dreams come true. You know, where
Right. Which is gonna happen this
it
year.
is. You're right.
Speaking into
As long
existence.
as we keep working towards our dreams and our goals, something's bound to happen, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. For sure. But yeah, so speaking of this upcoming, well, last week, sad day. The Obamas left the office, and I not fearful for what's gonna happen with Trump in office, because I'm already knowing how much hatred and just craziness he spews. We already knew what was gonna happen. I'm more so just sad to see the Obamas leave. Just say very
Yeah,
soon.
I'm sad too. I'm very sad. I love them so much, and they were such a cute family, and they just made Black people look great. And I love Michelle. Like, she's a Capricorn like me, and I just like she has the same name as
Michelle.
me. I'm like, I'm destined to be great because I see Michelle and she got the same characteristics as me. But I am definitely going to miss the Obamas, and it's super sad to see them leave. And I just hope that we all stay hopeful in whatever's happening with our country, because we have to remember that
For
things
sure.
haven't, you know, it hasn't always been perfect, and we've been through worse. Honestly, like our grandparents, we've been through slavery, we've been through Jim Crow, we've been through so much. So I don't want to let this thing, stop us, because we never let anything else stop us before. So let's keep up the
Right.
hopefulness and support each other, because I think that's the next best step. And I think finally our generation, or not even our generation, just today in today's society, I feel like we do have way more woke people who are way more in tune about what's politically going on, and are willing to help each other and make a change. So I hope we keep that hopefulness up, for sure.
I agree, Michelle. I agree.
Yes. So let's wrap up from last week. We talked about job hoppers, millennial job hoppers, and I think it was a great topic. I know that we are all going through something in our careers. If that's, we're trying to get a promotion, we are looking for a new job, we are currently in a place where we hate where we work, but we're stuck there because we have X, Y, and Z bills. So it was definitely a fun topic to talk about. And I hope as we continue on looking for jobs, or being stuck where we are, that we continuously, professionally and personally, developing ourselves and helping each other achieve that goal. So even if you have parents like Mariah and I discussed about, serious about staying at a job, or having your 401k plan and things like that, let's try to motivate each other. Don't you think, Mariah? Like, let's keep motivating each other to go towards our goals, if that's getting a promotion, or if that's looking for a new job.
I agree. I think motivation is definitely key. Also, you can be motivated all you want. People can push you, but if you don't want it, you're not passionate enough, and you're not actually putting the work in, then
Right.
yeah. Even the Bible says faith without works is dead. So,
Exactly.
I mean, you gotta work towards
You gotta
it.
put one foot in front
So
of the
definitely, as
other.
Michelle says, exactly. So motivation is a third of it, but the other portion of it definitely has to do with actually putting those steps forward, because we can push you, we can motivate you, we can give you all the courage in the world to do it, but you have to actually be, okay, let me actually start doing it. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So I hope we push each other
Oh
to
yeah,
make those steps. For sure.
yeah.
Yes.
But speaking of pushing each other, I'm gonna push us into this next hot button topic. So Instagram models. So we wanted to touch on this subject due to the fact that it's I feel like Instagram models hasn't really been a thing except for in our generation. Like obviously our parents were on Instagram, or I don't think they even had, even like when we were back in the day, like back in like I want to say MySpace days, there wasn't anybody that you was like,
Exactly.
you have to worry about. You have to worry about certain things like Instagram models. Like there were like pretty girls that were like, okay, she's a fake page,
Exactly.
but it wasn't like they weren't getting paid, or they weren't, you know what I mean? Now Instagram models are getting paid, and so it's a whole different realm of things. So we wanted to discuss that, and we had a few questions surrounding the topic. So I'm gonna just jump right into it.
Yes.
Let's see. So our first question that we wanted to discuss was, do you, this was tailored towards women and men too as well, do you feel pressure to be the same image as those online? And I believe that obviously these standards are there, these beauty images are there, you can't escape them, you know. So to certain degree, I do feel a little bit pressure, like, oh, okay, like this is what they believe beautiful to be. I don't think that that's true.
Right.
But I'm just saying that it's there. You know what I mean? So it's there. I'm aware that it's there. How I act on it is a whole different story. Do I feel the pressure to actually be exactly like them? No, but I am aware that it's there. So the pressure is there, but I'm trying to, like, how can I say this? It's there, but it's not so heavily placed on me because I'm aware that it's there, and I'm trying to, like, not make it my whole life. Like, okay, see that she's pretty, see that people like her, but she's her and I'm me. So
Exactly.
yes and no.
I the same way, Mariah, honestly. I think what I've noticed, even when I was working in at this middle school, is that the middle school girls are looking up to Instagram models. They want to be like them. They want to look like them. They want to be inspiring models. And what I've noticed is that even when I was looking at Instagram models when it first started, and I seen someone who is super pretty, body bad, like almost like goodness, like she's gorgeous, like nothing is wrong with this person. And then, you know, through social media, of course, you scroll and you scroll and you look, and then there's always that one page that shows you what that person looked like before they was a model. And it always throws me off every single time. And I'm like, I followed this chick because I thought she was natural. I thought she was a natural model. Yeah. And then I find out that she got all this work done. And she looks like a completely different person. And it actually, like, it really shocked me. And I'm like, this is what we're doing now. We're putting filters and we're changing the way we completely look to become an Instagram model, or to look to the public as like these perfect, beautiful figures, right?
Right.
So
I agree. Like Michelle said, that you see their natural pictures, and by no means are me and Michelle saying those who are Instagram models are terrible people and should not get surgery or whatever the case is. What we're saying is it's so heavily placed on the fact that no one wants to admit that they've gotten work done. I think that's the big thing. They want to make it seem as though it's natural. And it's okay to get work done, but the fact that you're making it seem it's natural. Like, this is how I naturally look, and this is obtainable. And it's not obtainable. I mean, it's attainable if you get surgery, pay for it. But it's not obtainable for it to just be natural at all the time, 100% of the time. Because it wasn't obtainable for you to do because you felt the need to go get surgery. So I just feel as though, you know, if we just always real about it, like, yeah, girl, I got a little tuck here, a little suck here, a little here, then
if
I
my
could be cool.
doctor,
Cause like, don't be in the
right,
gym. Don't be in the gym. I don't want to see you in the gym working out. I want to see what doctor you got,
Doctor Miami,
so
please.
I can. What doctor did you get? Give me the phone number to your doctor, not to your trainer, because
Yeah,
your trainer didn't give
exactly.
you that booty. Dr. Miami did. So I'm gonna need to go ahead and get his number, because stop playing with me about, you know what I mean? Like, if we was all just real about how we
Right.
obtain our
And it'll be
looks,
some
it would be
realistic
different. You know what I
goals.
mean?
It'll be some realistic goals for
Yeah.
our young girls who maybe are looking up to the Instagram models. And I was even
Right.
reading this article, and I'm not saying Instagram models is, a bad thing like how Mariah said. It's just owning up to your naturalism and maybe saying, I did get this fixed. But then also at the same time saying, you know what, this is who I naturally am, and then empowering girls to be natural. So there are Instagram models out there who are inspiring people to say, you know what, I'm consciously aware that maybe I don't look like your average looking model, or I'm different than your average looking girl, and I go outside of the box. So I definitely believe that, Instagram models can make a huge statement with motivating girls to be open and be free with who they are. So
Absolutely. I agree. Absolutely. We also just want to discuss, like, would we ourselves ever get surgery? Like we just said, I'm not against surgery. Like, if you want to get a boob job or a butt, whatever you want to get, if whatever makes you feel your happiest, I'm all for. Personally, would I get it? Not right now because I'm broke, but just kidding. No, have I thought of it? Yeah, growing up, I was definitely teased about having big lips or having a wider nose or whatever the case may be. So those insecurities carried on into my adulthood, and I definitely wanted to, I don't even know if you can get a lip reduction. I'm sure it's possible. But now I'm like, I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. So, what some man may not find me attractive or pleasing, whoever I'm attracting and pleasing, that's who I want to attract and please. I don't want to have to change to fit some man standard, because I leave him, another man met something. You know what I mean? Like, so it
exactly.
would be the cycle of, he don't find me cute, so let me be cute. Oh, he don't find me cute, so let me be. It's like, it would just be an ongoing process of everything. So it just wouldn't be great.
Yeah, exactly. Mariah, you have a great point, and it's crazy because you mentioned like you being insecure about your lips, or shortening your shortening your nose, not shortening your nose, narrowing your nose. And I was reading this article on www.rat.com, and it mentioned that maybe it wasn't social media that made you kind of want smaller lips or a thinner nose, or people who made fun of you who had this characteristic of what beauty looks like. And it says
Mm-hmm.
that there has been basically racism on Instagram filters. And it all started with, if we notice it in all of our filters, is that filters make you look lighter than what you are. And it's been a trending thing that's been happening. One of the last year's Danity Kane's Dawn Richards, she uploaded a selfie on Instagram that led to plenty of backlash from her fans. Aside from her plastic surgery, many suspected that she had bleached her skin. In response, Richards tweeted, "Filter is the new bleach." So it's funny to think, and honestly, it really opened my eyes to see when we do put filters on, that there really isn't a filter built for maybe Black women to actually bring out their natural skin color without making them look lighter or brighter. So that really opened my eyes to that when you speak about um, just the things that you wanted to change growing up, and how how now you're more so, if a dude's not if he doesn't like what he sees, then he can move on. But I have a question for you. Do you did anyone motivate you to love your natural self, Mariah? Like, do you think that happened unconsciously, or like who motivated you to really love the natural part of you?
I think my mother, so I got my big list, like my traits from her. So, seeing her and being beautiful and people complimenting her and saying how gorgeous she was, and just going day to day and be like, hey, they're stopping her and like saying how beautiful she is. I'm like, wow, I look just like her, like I'm her twin. So at the end of the day, it's like, well, I was always told by her like, you're pretty, or you're this, you're that. So just having that natural woman in my life, being complimented, and also her complimenting me for the same things that she has, and being complimented on as well, kind of motivated me to be like, okay, well, this is normal. Like,
Right.
it's a good thing to have different traits than everybody else. No one wants to look the same as everyone else because, you're not going to be desirable to everybody, but that's okay.
Exactly. I'm just looking at right now on Instagram in general. I'm seeing a lot of similarities. I don't know about you, but I'm seeing that
Yes, girl.
same neck choker, that same highlight, and that same part in
I hate you.
every. I'm sorry.
It's so
I'm
petty.
just like, you know what? And it's a trend, and I understand that, trends happen, but if I see another dark lip with a neck choker in a part down the middle, Fashion Nova outfit, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I am seeing the same thing, and everyone's trying to catch that good light. And where'd that come from, right? What you think? What the good light come from? Did the good light come from us trying to look lighter, or what do you think? I always think like, cause I'm always trying to find the light, and I don't know if that's like, what's why we always trying to find the light, the good light.
I don't even know. I think I don't know, because we always try to find the light, but we try to find the angle too. So it just depends. Like you wanna look nice or whatever that may be. Like this may be your good side. Or you may look a little bit thinner on
Right.
this side, or I guess a good light probably comes from, I don't know. You just want to make sure that you're seen, like you're the center of attention. Like I gotta have
Right.
that awe
Right.
effect. You don't want to be in the background. You want to make sure like you in the forefront. So I think that's kind of where it comes from for the most part. But that's interesting about the filters. I didn't even think about that. Like, I guess they do all
They
make you lighter.
do, and that's crazy. And it's like I'm trying to think back in MySpace days where, now we're more built on filters where we want to close up our face and stuff like that. MySpace was more the sink pictures. Remember the sink? Remember sitting on the sink? Remember the
Getting that
booty?
booty looking better.
The booty
Booty
pop
pop.
pictures, that was a thing. But it really surprised me how, in the article, it talked about how American film like Kodak and Polaroid and stuff, the only reason why that they changed their photo lens to cater more to black skin was not because of black people. It was because of companies were complaining that they couldn't take pictures of dark chocolate and milk chocolate candy to make it look more natural. So when you see companies like Polaroid and Kodak had no choice but to try to look more appealing and craft their lens to the chocolate skin. So that really stuck out to me the most, and I'm like, okay, so I see, we have this big ideal on looking lighter, having a thinner nose, having a thinner cheekbone. Um, now lips are in, so I'm happy you got your lips. So I'm happy you didn't decide to, do nothing with those as you got older,
Wax
right?
those
Because you would
out,
be
right?
mad about it if you stuck with that.
The original Kylie Jenner lips, the originals.
Originals, exactly,
But yeah, I'm very
exactly.
happy about that because, listen, your girl would have been sad. Just very sad.
I'm trying to think if I would have got
Yeah.
surgery. I'm trying to think if there was some times where, you know what, I do, and I don't know if it's every girl, but I do have some chubby cheeks. So I always felt my face is so round. I don't want chubby cheeks. And I don't know if this is from social media, if this is from looking at Instagram models with these thin, nice cheekbones or whatever.
Just little
But
faces.
goodness, I'm like, why y'all's face so good? But then I noticed on Snapchat they got that great filter that, you know what I'm talking about.
My favorite.
The greenish blue one.
Blue is
I don't
like
know what it
pinkish.
does.
Yeah. Yes, I'm
If you got
aware.
a good light and you got that filter in your face, your jawbone looks great. But
Amazing.
other than that, honestly, I can't tell you if I would have got surgery or not if I got money, because people who said they probably wouldn't get surgery who got money, they go and fix all of that with some surgery. So I wouldn't be able to tell you if I come up with a lot of bread and I got nothing else to do with my money and I already
You mean
spent it on
opposed to it?
everything. I might do something different or something. But it's all about you, though. It's all about what you want. And as long as you're doing it for the right reasons and you're not doing it for no likes, right?
Right.
Or no promoters or for no man either. Because don't do it for him, especially if he. I was going to say if he don't put no ring on it, but rings ain't real neither. He could take it away. So don't do it for nobody else but yourself.
That's what I was going
For
to say. I was
real.
like, if you're doing it for someone else, then that's not the right reason. If you're doing it to truly make yourself happy, then I'm 100% okay with anything you want to do. But if it's to please others, then it's
Is
whatever.
it really for right? Is it really for pleasing? I don't know. I'll think about me looking good, and I'm thinking I look good for me, but I also look good for other people to see, right?
I guess
I
that's
don't
true. You
know.
get your nails done because you want to look. You want your nails to be cute, but then you be like, but you want to show your nails off. Like, hey girl, look at my nails.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like you want to look good, and then you look. I feel like girls, we look good for each other too. Like you want another girl to be like, "Hey,
So
girl, you
crazy.
look cute," right? And then you also look good for dudes, but they matter, but they don't. I don't know. I feel like we're always trying to impress each other, and I don't know what that's from. I have no idea what's that. I don't know where
I
that
don't know where
stems
that's
from.
from either.
Is it stem from competition
It has to
because
stem
there's a
from that.
few
You're
good
right.
men out there and there's a lot of good women? I don't know.
I feel
What you
like
think?
that could be it because the ratio is very very small to get a man. So I feel like we feel like we're like from birth we're taught to compete with each other like from birth. So you know that's always been a thing. We've always had to compete with one another and do the extra and the most. So I definitely feel like that could be it.
Yeah.
Competition.
But I wonder why. Why are
To
we
an extent, but
pressured to compete with each other?
I don't know. I guess because we're
Right.
always taught to be attractive for a man or to get a man or whatever, to solely be pleasing for a man. Right.
Right. And be wife, right? Get prepared because you need to get, you want someone to marry you. So you gotta look
Right.
cute. I mean, not everyone was raised like that, I guess. Some people were raised on the opposite end. But then
That's an
I don't know.
interpretation. Yeah.
That's a really good question. I might have to look into that because why are women so in competition? And honestly, I think we're more so talking about black women because the ratio of black men to black good women, I believe, don't take this too serious, but I believe it's a big difference. Because majority of our
Or
black
dead.
men are in prison, so there's a few right or dead. So, and
Yeah.
especially
We're gonna
in,
get right
I think it's a
into
whole nother
it.
topic. Let me stop because I was about to say, and then black women, and then there's black men out there who, they love black. There's some that love black women. There's some that don't. But black women tend to stay in their race. So I guess that's a whole nother
Which we can do
topic.
if y'all let us know if y'all want to stop. Just kidding. But no, seriously, it's a really interesting conversation. So I mean, we can definitely touch on that for sure because I'm interested to know myself.
Right.
Um, Speaking of black men or speaking of men, period in general, um, I wanted to say, I wanted to ask a question. I guess we would have to answer this until we get to our Snapchat conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But do do me and you at this point? Do me and you think that men find Instagram models as their standard of women when they're looking to date? Do you feel like guys do that nowadays? They place these standards on women that are unattainable or are only attained by those in higher attention. What higher attention? Whatever.
Right.
on Instagram or whatever the case is?
Hmm. That's a good question. I do think I think there's a few men that don't put that standard on women,
Right.
who don't compare them to maybe these Instagram models. But I don't think that stops them from looking though. Like something about men and something intrigues me about a man who loves a woman who's very unnatural on Instagram, right? Who may not look anything like that in person. Um, but likes her pictures. I don't know, and then complains or says, "I want a natural girl." So it's very confusing. So I don't. I think some dudes do have that standard, and I do think it's more so with the younger generation. I'm going to have to ask my little brother. Like he's how's my brother? 16, 17 years old. I'm going to ask him. I'm gonna text him right now while we're doing this podcast and see if he responds to me. Because if it's the young boys might actually have high standards for these girls, because I feel like all they do is they're always on social media. I don't even think they have conversations with each other on the phone. So
Yeah, no, it's really interesting because I feel as though like subconsciously they do it. They don't even know that they're doing it. You know what I mean? Because a lot of guys that I
mm-hmm.
talk to would be like, "No, but I do want a natural woman." But I'm like, "But who's your girl crush? Like, who's your girl crush?" And they'll name a woman who like has the longest weave with the longest nails, or just got her body done, and that's fine. Like, she's still a gorgeous woman. No shade to her. Like, she's still gorgeous in her own right. But then I'm just like, what you just listed as what you want does not equal to the woman that you're placing this high standard on. You know what I mean? So this is crazy for me.
Yeah.
So that's like me saying, you know, I want me a nice chocolate man. I want to be fine. I want to be all that. And you like, oh, so you want to talk to Idris Elba? And I'm like, nah, I want Michael Ealy. You're like, what?
Right,
That doesn't match
exactly.
up. So it's just like so different to like hear what they say they want versus what they actually look at and inspire to be with. If that makes any sense.
Right. And I think it's so important to not have that standard of looking at a woman through her filter, because she probably does have a filter on, because we all use filters all the time now. It's we filter everything on
Mm-hmm.
life, about our life, filter every picture. And I just think they need to look past that filter, because in the morning or when she gets out the shower, and washes off her face, there is no filter. This is it. This is who I am. This is all me. So I think dudes need to be realistic with themselves and say, would you want to wake up and see the same person, right? Or do you know, you want to put this high standard on having this woman with a million filters on? And I'm not saying Instagram models are the worst or anything like that. And I feel like we're coming off that they are. But they're not. Because if you really love all of that and that woman is confident in herself, then hey, if your standards are that high and you can get a woman with them high standards, then more power to you.
And like you said, we're not trying to bash Instagram models. Like I said, they're gorgeous. So obviously they're getting paid for a reason, and it's their looks, and their looks are nice because they're getting paid for them. What I'm saying is, it just doesn't add up when men say that they want something and they don't do it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't make
Right.
sense because I just feel like it should match up to what you say. And even if you say, "Hey, I want," just be real with yourself at the end of the day. If that's what you want, say that's what I want, and don't be ashamed of it.
Right.
Like, this is what I want in a woman, and that's it. Don't be like, "Yeah, I mean, she cute, but I don't want that." Like, yes, you do, and that's cool. Like, just say it. Like, don't be afraid to say what you want. Like, you know what I mean? If that's
Right.
what you want,
Exactly.
bet that's awesome. If that's not, that's cool too. Like, do you? Like, but don't be
Right.
scared to live in your truth and say what you really want. Because who are you fooling at the end of the day? You're fooling
Exactly.
yourself.
Exactly. And thinking of fooling yourself, even Instagram models who are not Instagram models, who are inspiring Instagram models, who are trying to get paid, anyway, be true to yourself, right? If your dreams and your goals are to become an Instagram model, just think of it. Just think of long term results. Like Kim Kardashian has put a high standard on modeling from that framework. If that makes sense. So there's a lot of girls like even I think a big one is who India. You know India
Mm-hmm.
Love. She's gotten pretty big, but just know that if you are becoming an inspiring model or you're an Instagram model, I hope that you are motivating young girls who are watching you, who maybe like your pictures and things like that. That you're doing it all for the right reasons, and you're not doing it in um your underwear. Like, this is my own personal perspective. Anyone can get mad at me for saying it, but this podcast is for my voice, and I want my voice to be heard. So, just think about it in the long run. Just think about, um, your body, and if I guess if you're comfortable with wearing underwear, then wear underwear. But just think about the young girls and stuff who are watching you and how they're going to be portraying themselves when they look up to you as an Instagram model, and characterize the naturalness of who you are. So that's what I
Exactly. And this is our voices, so it's called Melanin Voices for a reason. We're giving our voice.
think.
But yeah, so I guess I will move on to my Snapchat comments with Mariah. So I asked everybody their thoughts on this topic, and I got a lot of feedback. Mostly, a lot of women did say that they did feel pressure from, these images online. Like they did feel some type of pressure, and I will name who I did my what got my answers from. Um, I got my answers from Lauren. Once again, she said that she felt pressured from getting, like Instagram models. But I also asked other women as well. And Brianna Gaddis, she goes by Juice on Snapchat. And she said, hell no, she doesn't feel no pressure. She don't feel no kind of pressure at all to obtain these looks that Instagram models are. Um, and then I asked, well, okay, so you don't feel pressure or anything like that, but would you get surgery? And she was like, no, I definitely want to get surgery. So she was like, no, I don't feel pressured because they look hungry. That's what she said. And then she said, I don't feel pressure at all to get surgery, like at all. So that's what she said to me. And I didn't get many male perspectives on the topic, but I did get one from Ashi. So thanks, Ashi, for chiming in again. uh, Everyone like, oh my God, Ashi's an avid listener. Yes, he is.
Right.
But yeah, so he just said that he answered and he was honest. Like I said, like, man, be honest with yourselves. Like, say what you like from these women, or like from women in general. And he said he feels like anyone could take a nice picture, but it's a standard because one, if you're thinking about having kids, they have to be pretty, and two, I want my girl to be pretty to show her off. So basically, he's stating that he places not these standards, but he wants his woman to be pretty, because he wants good genes for his children, right? And he also wants to have army candy, basically. That is what he said.
Well, tell Ashi, how do you say his name?
Ashi.
Ashim, that genes run deep, and if her grandma is ugly, then your kids is gonna be ugly. So you be careful with trying to find someone who has pretty genes, because some of the craziest looking people make some of the best looking kids. So I know only reason why I say that is because people have to be really careful. You can't mix everything. You do have to look at grandma, and you gotta look at auntie, and you gotta look at sister, because if you think that your kid's gonna look like your wife, she might come out looking like her sister. So just be careful. Genes do run deep,
No, absolutely.
Exactly. So, great convos with Mariah's Snapchats. We always get we always get people who tune into her Snapchats, and I encourage people to tune in more to her Snapchats and answer some of
Please,
her
men
questions
too,
because
because
she
y'all
always has
playing.
good stuff. She always has good stuff. So, and we want to hear your voices. And I know for sure you know, once you guys listen more into our podcast, that hopefully you will comment and say, Michelle, I did not like what you said. You don't know what you're talking about, and educate me on your voice and your perspective, because this is why I'm doing this. So I can get more understanding of what of what you guys think. This is what this podcast is about, really.
Right, it's about everybody's voice. We want people to voice their opinion. So please, when we upload these, write in our SoundCloud comments, write in our YouTube comments, go to our Facebook page and write something, or go to our write and let us know what you say. We don't know how you feel unless you tell us. We can't read your mind, so let us know.
Exactly. So, Mariah, tell us about the Black Business of the Week because you inspired this one.
Yes, I'm so excited to announce this Black Business of the Week. So super excited. So a dear friend of mine, Angelina Howard, and a friend of hers, Mia Francis, two educated Black women who created pop-up events for young Black professionals in Seattle, have created the socialites. So basically, what this is they go around and they do fundraisers for just things that need fundraising for. So when I was out there, I visited Seattle for my work party. They had an event at Nate's Waffles and Wings. It's a downtown Seattle location where you obviously eat waffles and wings. It's a brunch place, and they were collecting donations for women in shelters to get socks, because if you didn't know, socks are like the least donated thing at this time of the year. So they wanted to, so that's why they did it. And yeah, so they decided to go ahead and do that. And it was super fun. It was just nice being around a lot of other young people who were aspiring to make a change. It was very nice. So I enjoyed myself, and definitely support them if you're in the Seattle region. Definitely go to their events. They always post their events on their social media. So it's called the Socialites. You'll definitely be able to find them. If not, I'll go ahead and just link their page somewhere in our description bar, so you can go ahead and just click on that and support them if you're in Seattle. And yeah, just go to their events, donate, and try to show some love and support to these entrepreneurs, please.
Yes, definitely. To wrap it up, we just want to say that um, our topics and discussions are strictly Mariah and I's opinions and our thoughts about what's going on to today's society, especially in the Black community and as millennials as well. So today we talked about Instagram models, and we talked about Instagram models to bring more information about our young girls and who they're looking up to, as well as just as a woman and even as a Black woman, just having that self-esteem, that confidence, that beauty about yourself, and not filtering your life and not looking up to people for the wrong reasons. So anytime that you're even maybe looking into being an Instagram model and you're inspiring to be a model, or you're looking at girls' pictures and you may not look like them, right? Just to keep your confidence and stay motivated, and your natural beauty is everything, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. With looking at all these different things that we put a filter on in today's society, things like that. You have any last minute notes, Mariah, about our topic?
Any last minute notes? I don't, like Michelle said, I'll just piggyback off what she said. Definitely just our thoughts and our opinions. So if you ever feel as though you want to voice your opinions, that is exactly why we have open discussion, so you can let us know how you feel. And when we start, getting deeper into our podcast segments, we'll definitely open up the stage where you can write into us to speak about a topic, and we definitely want to listen more about you want to say. I want to call it Melanin Message. So you can write into us, and we can kind of give you some
Yes.
some advice on your situation. So you can write us about anything: family, relationships, finances, whatever. We definitely will go ahead and further assist you with, any questions you may have or advice that you may need. We definitely want to open a Melanin Message. So let us know, email us some questions or concerns, and we'll definitely get back to you.
Yes, definitely. So, to end it off, thank you again for tuning into Melanin Voices. You can reach us on all of our social media pages, melaninvoices.com, Melanin Voices on Facebook, and also our own personal Instagrams, as well as our YouTube and our SoundCloud.
Absolutely.
So please tune in. All right, it was great talking to you guys. See you guys next